mega mirror now expose caught on camera, the government poisoning Belindu Lake. Once again, mirror now goes to ground to trace the root of Bengaluru's biggest disease.
There are thousands of lakes in so many cities in the country, but it's only Belindu Lake which is being spoken about, as if every other lake in every other city is clean and neat and not polluted.
Double speak stands exposed, and yet Congress leader Dinesh Gundu Rao shamelessly tries to downplay the gravity of the problem with Belindu's toxic lake. More trouble for Kamla Landmark Group. 25 home buyers move the court over non-delivery of flats. Hello and welcome to the news here on Mirror Now. I am Aishwarya Paliwal. Now on to Tamil Nadu, where DMK-led opposition parties have called for a state-wide bandh in support of the state's drought-hit farmers. Local vegetable markets and auto services, after being affected for a while, are now back to normalcy. The bandh has been called for a day after the state chief minister Palaniswamy assured support to the drought-hit farmers in Tamil Nadu. In fact, after staging protest in Chennai, DMK leader Stalin, along with others, was detained. Vijay joins me now live from the ground. Vijay, tell me what's the mood like there on ground?
Well, just to begin, first it was MK Stalin and other few DMK leaders who actually were protesting in Tiruvarur. It's the constituency where Karunanidhi usually stands for the elections. Whenever there are any elections, that's the constituency that Karunanidhi represents, and that's where most of the senior DMK leaders were protesting, which is away from Chennai. As far as Chennai is concerned, there were other parties. It was the opposition, or the Tamil Nadu opposition, that were leading the protests. As far as Chennai is concerned, parties like the VCK, parties like CPI, CPIM, the Congress, these are the parties that were protesting here in Chennai. Of course, the day began with a lot of chaos as far as the confusion surrounding whether shops would open or not, because let's not forget it was a bandh that was called by the DMK. So there were a lot of confusion whether there will be buses running, whether there will be any public transport that is vying throughout the city. But of course, we were told that, apart from most of the private firms, most of the government-run organizations did run their government buses plied completely throughout the day. Auto rickshaws were partially banned. But let's not forget that it was a partial ban as far as Chennai is concerned. Of course, northern districts, southern districts of Tamil Nadu had complete ban, because that's where you get more of the support as far as political parties are concerned. As far as Chennai being a metropolitan city, it was not a complete ban. It is a weekday, remember. It's just a second day of the week, and there had a lot of people who had to go to their offices. So obviously this ban did not work the way the DMK would have wanted. Right now, if you see, it's all come back to normalcy. Of course, shops already started to begin opening from around 2 p.m. There were the malls were closed all throughout the day. Movie halls did not screen any movies all throughout. The morning shows were cancelled. Right now, we've been told that the movies from 6 p.m. will be started to be screening from in all movie halls. Malls will reopen at around 6 p.m. Shops have already begun slowly. There are some other places around Tamil Nadu which have not, completely restored to normalcy. But as of now, in Chennai, everything is back to normal. Once again, the key factor being is that this entire ban was a damn squib as far as the DMK is concerned. Only reason being it was a weekday. You wouldn't want a lot of people missing out on work. You wouldn't want a lot of people going to schools as well. Now, the other important factor is the fact that this ban was entirely for the farmers. They called for a farmers' protest, in solidarity for the farmers. Now, what happened yesterday was the farmers who've been protesting in Delhi, the national capital, for almost like 40 days now, called off their fast yesterday. So this fast that was called by DMK, this protest that was called by DMK was well in advance. So both of their timings did not meet very well. So obviously the Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy met the farmers in Delhi yesterday, after which they called off the fast, but still DMK went ahead with the protest today. Of course, a lot of the senior leaders were detained. DMK, TR Balu from and MK Stalin from the DMK were arrested in Chennai. The Congress President Tirunavagarsu, VCK leaders, CPI leaders, most of them were arrested. In Saidapet over here in Chennai, we saw around close to about 500 to 600 people come out in protest, and of course everybody were detained. But of course, whether DMK has managed to prove a point is something that is a big question that we're going to ask. Whether they'll continue to be relevant as far as the political spectrum is concerned in Tamil Nadu is another big question. Of course, they wanted to, they thought, the split with the AIDMK that we're all talking about is something that whether, they tried to gain political mileage out of. But the big question is, will DMK continue to be relevant, or will they continue to call for these bans? And at the end of the day, the people tend to suffer a lot because of this ban. It's the end of the day, the common man who does not get his or her resources throughout the day. Of course, it was very difficult for many people, we were told today, because they could not even get lunch or breakfast as well because of the shops being closed. Another reason why the shops don't open, most of them fear of getting vandalized as well. We had instances of places like Kanchipuram and other places where there were a lot of places where the reports of vandalism also happened. So the update of now, rise of now, is that the shops are all being opened. Chennai has returned to normalcy.
Thank you, Vijay, for joining us with all those details there. The latest that's happening in Chennai coming from Vijay. Now, is this just brazen disregard or plain callousness? Mirror Now showed you the truth behind Bengaluru's biggest civic disease, forcing the state government to take note and clean up their act. But just 72 hours later, we have caught them on camera once again, dumping waste and poisoning the Belindu lake. The assurances clearly were just a mere eyewash. The images on your screen bear testimony to the doublespeak and the sheer apathy of Bengaluru government. Now, Shrija, who exposed the truth behind the toxic Belindu lake, sent us this report earlier from Ground Zero. Listen in.
It was just yesterday the civic bodies got onto work after the NGT, RAP, BDA, BWSSB as well as the BBMP. In fact, we also showed you the mesh work being done as well as the Paura Karmikas picking up the garbage. However, just a day after that, that is on Tuesday, we see another sorry state of affairs here right at the Belindu lake. As you can see, the conservancy workers in fact segregate the garbage and dump it right into this particular lake. As you can see, the garbage has been dumped here. Also, the visuals that you see on your screen, they are segregating the waste, picking up the garbage from different households in this very area of Belindu and dumping the garbage on the other side of the lake. That is the work where exactly it started on Monday. Remember, the BDA had promised saying that they will take care of as far as the garbage is concerned. That is, the BBMP will look into the garbage issues. They will stop all the garbage which is being dumped into the lake. However, that really hasn't happened. But this morning's the visual that we saw was really shocking, where the conservancy workers working with the BBMP themselves dumping the garbage on the lake bed. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
Now, the Belindu lake has been one of Bengaluru's biggest civic problems, despite an environmentalist raising this issue. Now, Mirror Now spoke to the locals to find out who they blame for this pathetic condition of the lake.
From the past few days, we are seeing like this garbage dumping is going on here, okay, nearby, and it seems like those are the BBMP employees, but still they are putting the garbage over here.
There is this pungent smell coming every now and then. So if they're just dumping the garbage on one side of the lake and putting back on the other, I don't think so. The authorities need to work something on this, you know.
The higher authorities should be looking into it. They should not be doing this kind of work because there are people who are getting serious problems. They should be checking what exactly has been done and who's doing what, right? I mean, the authorities are aligning some work, but they're not governing what is happening at the other side of the thing.
A few days back, they have started something, and they are putting the garbage, taking from one side and putting on the other side. And it is very hazardous. Even groundwater also we are not able to use.
In fact, the apathy is visible across the administration. Listen in to what Bengaluru's first citizen had to say when shown the video.
ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂಥರ ಬೇಜಾರು ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ NGT ಏನು ಆದೇಶ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಲೆ ಬಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ JC ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ 24x7 ರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಕಸ ಡೆಬ್ರಿಸಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕೂಡ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಲೇಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರು ನಿನ್ನೆ ತಾನೇ CCTV 2 ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಕೂಡ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣದೊಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ.
Now the Bengaluru government's double speak stands exposed, but Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee's working president Dinesh Gundu Rao thinks that this issue is being unnecessarily blown out of proportion.
Nothing is an eyewash. The government is doing a lot of work in trying to see that Bandh lake is revived and STP plants and all kinds of using other technologies to ease the froth. We are doing a lot of work over there trying to see that we revive that lake. It's not that the lake has become bad during our tenure or anything. It has been built up over a long period of time. Obviously, to revive the lake is the number one priority for our government. And we're putting a lot of money into this, a lot of funds into this. People are monitoring it on a daily basis and things are being worked out. I will not come to any conclusion immediately, but let our officers look into it and see exactly what is happening, why it has happened like this. And if there's any real fault, if they have done, definitely we will see that it is prevented. And whoever is doing this, we will take some action on them. There are thousands of lakes in so many cities in the country, but it's only Belandur Lake which is being spoken about, and no other lake is being mentioned, as if every other lake in every other city is clean and neat and not polluted. But leaving the politics aside, it is our duty to see that the lake is revived.
We are now joined by BJP leader Malvika Avinash on the phone line. Malvika, the government of Karnataka is clearly not looking extremely serious to tackle this issue of the toxic lake.
You see the government apathy that's flashing on your screen today. I think the government on its own, although the Congress is in power in the state and has technically snatched the BBMP as well, the governing of BBMP as well, from the BJP, and yet they do not take an issue as serious as this, which is the Belandur Lake and the toxins that emit from it. They do not seem to understand the gravity of the situation. There is an NGT order that is there for them to act upon, and yet you see the callousness and the apathy. It's extremely unfortunate that this situation continues despite the court order.
Sridhar Pabishetty of Nama Bengaluru Foundation also spoke to us on this issue earlier today. Listen in.
The whole definition of BBMP is about a garbage transportation mafia rather than anything else. They are supposed to handle garbage, not transport garbage. And this is exactly been exposed of how 751 crores is what BBMP will swallow in the name of garbage management from the city of Bengaluru this year. That's the budgeted amount. And to say that this is just a trivial issue, and I think the government has exposed itself by saying that neither is it serious in protecting Belandur, nor is it serious in spending the 751 crores of the BBMP budget responsibly.
Karnataka government's apathy towards the toxic lake is clear there. Now, a 3-year-old girl has been sexually assaulted in the state of Haryana. Her relatives have identified the alleged perpetrator as victim's neighbor. The girl's family claimed that the accused attempted to kill the victim after the assault. The accused has been apprehended by the police and charges have been filed under the POCSO Act. Meanwhile, the minor is recovering in a local hospital.
ले गया उसके कमरे में, उसको रेप कर दिया है। और जब हम लोग सारे जनानियाँ कॉलोनी के लोग गए उसमें तो देखे बच्ची वहीं मिली हुई थी, लथपथ खून से लथपथ हुई थी। पता नहीं कहाँ का रहने वाला है, लेकिन है वो बंगाल का रहने वाला है। उस कमरे में उसी बेड़े में रहता था, किराए पे रहता था।
एक जगन्नाथ नाम का आदमी है जो उस बच्ची को पड़ोस में से अंधेरे में उठा करके अपने कमरे में ले गया। उस बच्ची के साथ उसने कुकर्म किया और जान से मारने की कोशिश भी की। अगर वहाँ पर शोर शराबा ना होता तो वो बच्ची को जान से भी मार सकता था।
जगन्नाथ ने किया है और जो बंदे इस काम को किया है हमारे बच्ची के साथ, उसको जीवन भर की फांसी के फांदे पर मौत की सजा होनी चाहिए।
कल लाजपत नगर में करीब 7-7:30 बजे एक 2.5 साल की बच्ची के साथ रेप हुआ था, जिसको सिविल हॉस्पिटल में उसको मेडिकल करवाया गया था। मेडिकल के बाद उस लड़की को उसकी सीरियसनेस देखते हुए उसको पीजीआई रेफर कर दिया गया। जिन लोगों में यह कहना भी वो गरीब आदमी है, वहाँ पे पीजीआई में उसको कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही, ना उसके पास कोई पैसा है, उसका इलाज यहीं होना चाहिए था। तो हमने इसको आश्वासन दिया भी वहाँ पर उसको ऑपरेशन होने के बाद जितना जल्द हो सकेगा उसको यहीं सिविल हॉस्पिटल में लाएंगे और उसका इलाज यहीं होगा। व्यक्ति जगन्नाथ है, उसको रात ही गिरफ्तार कर लिया और उसके बाद पेश डाल किया जाएगा।
Delhi has voted and it's time for the people's verdict. Only one channel sets the urban agenda. Watch Delhi Votes on April 26th, only on Mirror Now.
Moving on to some news from the real estate now. There's more trouble in store for the Kamla Landmark Group as 25 home buyers who had invested in Kamla Eames Whitefield project have approached the court over delay in delivery of this project. Now the court has directed the builder to provide details of all their assets and of the number of flats sold by them in the project with the supporting proof of an affidavit. Now Jitendra Jain, one of the directors of Kamla Landmark, is already in police custody. Disha Shah, who's been tracking this case, gets us more details.
Yes, absolutely. There seems to be more trouble in store for the Kamla Landmark Group as more buyers have come forward and filed FIR against the directors Ketan Shah, Jitendra Jain and Jinendra Jain for the Kamla Eames Whitefield project, which is in Andheri. In fact, the 25 home buyers have approached the court, and the first hearing was up in the court, in the magistrate court, where the court has directed the builder to provide all the assets and of course all the details as to how many total number of flats he has sold to the home buyers by filing an affidavit, and the deadline the court has given is a week from now. In fact, the court has also directed the builder, because the builder has built up to 7 floors without any permission. That is what the FIR alleges, the home buyers alleges. So of course the court has asked the builder to submit all the paperwork, show all the paperwork with the BMC as to how they have built 7 floors without permission. And lastly, the court has also directed and given liberty to the home buyers to settle the matter with the SBI. But lastly, when we spoke to the home buyers, what they tell us is that what they want now is their money, because they have been waiting for their homes for the past 4 to 5 years now, and the project is stalled at this point in time, so they don't know when the project will complete. So they want the money back, and the next hearing regarding this will be next week. This is Disha Shah for Mirror Now.
Builders across Maharashtra can now breathe a sigh of relief. RERA, which will come into force starting May 1st, will ensure that local authorities like the BMC, the Mahara, give approvals in time. The regulator will have the power to question approval delays by these authorities. Amita Balachandra gets us these details.
Good news coming in for home buyers across the state of Maharashtra. Maharashtra will get a regulator by the 1st of May 2017. We understand the state government is currently looking to tighten noose on builders to ensure, completion of projects happen in a time-bound manner. Additionally, they are also looking to address builders' concerns when it comes to sanctions and getting approvals from local authorities. RERA will keep a very close check on these local authorities to ensure that approvals are given in a time-bound manner as well. Remember, this comes after Mirror Now did an extensive coverage on draft RERA rules which were builder-friendly, post which the state government took note and changed those rules to make it consumer-friendly. Now, of course, RERA will be implemented and come into effect starting the 1st of May 2017. This will obviously bring in a lot of transparency in the real estate sector and also protect home buyers' rights. Amita Balachandra for Mirror Now.
On the other hand, the Minister of State for Housing, Rabindur Vaikar, says that RERA will address builder as well as home buyer complaints as soon as it becomes effective. Let's listen in.
ये जो केंद्र शासन का स्थावर संपदा अधिनियम जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, वो केंद्र शासन के माध्यम से ये सब राज्य को एप्लीकेबल होगा। और ये पहला महाराष्ट्र ये पहला राज्य है कि पहला ये एप्लीकेशन करने जा रहा है, अप्लाई करने जा रहा है। और उसकी डेट 1 मई हम लोग ने तय कर दी है और 1 मई में से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन उसका लागू हो जाएगा। इसके अंदर जो प्राधिकरण है, उस प्राधिकरण के ऊपर हमने गौतम चटर्जी की साहब की नियुक्ति की है। दूसरा ट्रिब्यूनल है, वो ट्रिब्यूनल के ऊपर जो सदस्य चाहिए वो सिलेक्ट करने वाले हैं, उनकी नियुक्ति हो गई है। खाली ट्रिब्यूनल का जो प्राधिकरण है उसका जो हेड होगा उसकी नियुक्ति बाकी है। ये जब आने के बाद नियम जो बनाए हैं वो 92 टोटल नियम है उसके अंदर, उसमें कि आधे बने हैं, आधे बनना जा रहे हैं, जितना जल्दी हो सके उतना। ये बनने के टाइम जो भी लोगों ने अप्लाई किया था कि भाई ये गलत है, ये ऐसा है, तो उनके साथ हमारे अधिकारी वर्ग बैठे, मैं भी बहुत सारे लोगों से चर्चा की और उसके अंदर इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया। ये मुद्दा ये है कि बिल्डरों के माध्यम से लोगों को जो फंसाया जाता है, बहुत सारे लोग फंस गए ले। हम लोग देते हैं कि वो अच्छे से प्लान निकालते, प्रोजेक्ट लाते हैं, बड़े बड़े चीज़ दिखाते हैं और असल में देते नहीं। देते कोई लोग तो लेट देते हैं, फिर हम लोग ने वहाँ लेट किया पैसा देने को तो हमारे ऊपर वापस इंटरेस्ट के माध्यम से पैसा भरना पड़ता है। ये सब चीज़ है। तो इसके लिए सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का जो आया है कानून जो आया है, ये प्राधिकरण बनाने के माध्यम से तो हम लोग बनाने जा रहे हैं। हम लोग के यहाँ से जब ये रियल इस्टेट का एक्ट अरेरा जब चालू हो जाएगा तो उसी के माध्यम से सभी को ये मानना होगा ऑनलाइन तुमको प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना है। और लेट क्यों होता है तो उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन भी देना है वो अधिकारी ने, इसलिए उसको विद इन द टाइम उसको करना ही है। नहीं होगा तो रेरा के माध्यम से जो भी उनको कंप्लेंट करना है वो अपनी कंप्लेंट कर सकते हैं। वहाँ 60 दिन के अंदर उसके ऊपर निर्णय किया जाएगा और उसको आंसर भी दिया जाएगा।
तो आप ये कैसे चेक करेंगे कि ये सैंक्शन डिलेज नहीं होगा? एक प्रश्न। दूसरा ये है कि जब ये मई 1 से चालू हो जाएगा उसके बाद रजिस्ट्रेशन करने के लिए कितना टाइम दिया गया है?
ऐसा नहीं, कोई भी एक प्लान आप यानी बिल्डर के बारे में कह रहे हैं कि किसी के बारे में, विद इन द 3 मंथ्स में उसने करना ही है। जब वो प्लान सैंक्शन करने को बिल्डिंग प्रपोजल में डालेंगे तो विद इन द 3 मंथ्स में उसमें करना है या बेचना है तो उसके बाद ही बेचना है। वो पहला जब तक रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं करेगा तब तक वो बेच भी नहीं सकता है। इसके लिए विद इन द 90 डेज उसको सबमिशन करना ही है।
Let's now look at some of the stories from around the country. The 25 CRPF jawans who lost their lives in a deadly ambush carried out by around 300 Maoists in the heartland of Chhattisgarh have been laid to rest early this morning. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh paid homage to the 25 CRPF personnel.
This entire emotional sentiment is there all across the force who is deployed here, because they were doing a very unique cause. They were deployed for the protection of road widening. That was for the construction of road in the rural Naxal affected area of Sukma.
The Bombay High Court has granted bail to Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, the main accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast case. She has been granted bail on a surety of 5 lakh rupees. The court has asked her to surrender her passport to the NIA. The court, however, rejected the bail of another prime accused, Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Purohit. Although the court has asked Sadhvi to refrain from tampering with the evidence, her lawyer has termed the case against her as fabricated and motivated.
The NIA investigation, the subsequent investigation had brought the real facts on record. And that is what our contentions were, that this is a fabricated case, a motivated case, a politically motivated case, so as to bring out a particular angle for the political gains.
A CCTV footage has emerged showing the supporters of TDP MP abusing a toll booth employee in Karnataka. Now, according to reports, the son of MP Krisattappa Nimala refused to pay the toll price, claiming that the vehicle bore symbols of MP and hence was exempt.
The question is that the Lal Batti is a physical symbol. It can be removed. But the VVIP culture is a mental susceptibility.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. For more news and updates, stay tuned to Mirror Now.